Mercedes finally didn't win. After 6 races with the German anthem after the race and the Italian 5 times, which was awesome, we had the Italian anthem for Ferrari. This win for Ferrari wasn't a fluke either, and could have a meaningful impact on the rest of the season. But that's not all. Huge upgrade packages are coming for the next race in Austria, and certain teams get to upgrade their engines with ADO. This season might not be as terrible as we feared. Thank you NordVPN for sponsoring this video. I'm Wimbo. Here's 3 seconds to leave a like. Okay, first things first. The battle for the title. First we thought George Russell was going to cruise to a dominant title with ease. He was super happy after winning in Australia. He loved it all very much. He loved the regulations, he loved the car, and he loved the team. All good in Australia. Then a certain Italian prodigy started stealing his thunder. First with some fortune, then Kimi Antonelli found confidence and became blistering fast. Faster than George Russell anyway, who then was hit by reliability problems and a car that had moved away from what he prefers. In Monaco, Russell copped a late penalty, which is still under review after Pierre Gasly had his time penalties rescinded. I'll talk about that a little bit later. So Antonelli increased his lead by another 25 points on poor old Georgie boy. He was overtaken in the standings by his former teammate Lewis Hamilton, who drives for Ferrari. That gap between Hamilton and Antonelli was 65 points after Monaco, so quite a big gap. But then Kimi Antonelli was hit with the reliability gremlin, the little monster that has destroyed races for every team this season. This is quite normal for the first season in a new set of regulations. Max Verstappen DNF'd 2 races in a row in 2022, was 43 points behind Leclerc, but still won the title. Those were the days. This meant that Antonelli, who qualified in P3 with Russell on pole, scored no points. This was pretty rough for him, as he was just 3 laps away from the finish, and he had just passed Russell on the track. So Antonelli is still faster in the race than Russell. Now, to be fair, Russell was ahead of Antonelli when his car died in Canada, so that part is even Steven now. If Antonelli gets a penalty after a safety car the next race and he tumbles out of the points, then they're equal again when it comes to bad luck. It would be like papaya rules, except silver this time. Mind you, if Mercedes manages to get Russell's Monaco points back, the championship looks quite different again. What a mess! But the guy who stole the show this race was Lewis Hamilton. He didn't mess around in Spain. He put his car on the front row on Saturday, and with remarkably good strategy from Ferrari, he won the race by a huge 20-second margin. Italy happy because Ferrari won, Britain happy because it was an all-British podium with Russell and Norris there as well, and Team LH happy because their idol scored his 106th win. I don't listen to the Sky Sports F1 commentators anymore, but I bet they were creaming themselves. But seriously, I am low-key impressed with what Hamilton is doing at Ferrari. To change a traditional team like that by ushering them into using a different type of brakes is pretty impressive. Has to be said. It's just a pity it comes at the expense of Charles Leclerc, who also DNF'd. Something Lando Norris called part and parcel of F1 in 2026. From the way things look now, it's going to be a fight between Mercedes and Ferrari. Between old and young, as Hamilton is 41 and Antonelli is only 19. I'm not giving up on Russell either. Things could go his way again, and the season is still very long, and there are a few more drivers who can shake things up even more. First, a message from my sponsor. I've been using NordVPN for many years now. You can get deals for their products for a few quid, euros or dollars per month. I use it for many different reasons. First of all, I like to be protected so that websites don't know my location, because a VPN changes your IP address to the location you pick. I use it to watch movies on Tubi, which you can normally only access in the US. Then for Formula 1, I love me a good podcast or an interview with one of the drivers. If that happens to be on Sky, I can't watch it in Holland because it's geo-blocked, but if I set my VPN to London, I can watch it all. There's a link in the first comment and in the description for a great deal. It also helps the channel. Okay, the dark horses for the title this season are quite a bit off the Mercedes team in the standings. And yet, with this season's reliability and the upgrade trajectory of different teams, we can't rule any car out from the top 4 teams. Look at what Max Verstappen did last season, closing a 104 point gap down to only 2. The current world champion, Lando Norris, has been putting in very decent results without it getting too much attention. Only his loyal army of girlies are talking about it on social media. That is, when his car doesn't kill itself. I still believe in Rob Marshall, who may need a little bit more time to create one of his well-balanced racing machines again. But it will come. Hopefully we'll see it in Austria already. Oscar Piastri is having a hard time, I think. He's been behind Lando Norris a lot lately, and he also had a fair share of mechanical problems. But I don't think he has found his early 2025 form yet. Charles Leclerc knows what struggling is, and yet he always gets his head above water again. I trust he will again this time. And then there's Max Verstappen and his Red Bull team. I see more and more people on social media pushing for Verstappen to leave his Red Bull family. They don't like how Lohan Mekies is making the same lame excuses after every failed race. And that positive swing he gives every interview about learning and getting closer, they're not buying it. I'm very relaxed about it myself, just like Max is. Those team principals always talk a load of shite to please the sponsors, so I barely listen to them anyway. I do listen to Verstappen, and I try to watch his body language. After Spain, he seemed calm, not aggravated, like he is sometimes, and I think that's a good thing. The issues the RB22 has are performance related, which are related to the weight of the car. I think the Austria upgrades are going to solve this. Then the software for the starts needs another look at, because this time it was Hadjar with a massive poop start. Such a shame, because the boy had pace. He was the most entertaining driver in the first 20 laps of the race. I think if everything works well in Austria, they are fighting for the top positions again. The only thing that is worrying me is that stupid A-Duo thing. How is it possible that a measure to prevent a team running away with the championship, as Mercedes did in 2014, is now helping the team who have won 6 races out of 7? Why is this rule only applicable to the ICE, when the combustion engine is only 50% of the power the cars get? I think the batteries need to be opened up for all teams to see or something, because Mercedes seems to get the best deployment, making them very strong. Ferrari is already fast without a strong engine, so they'll get even quicker if they don't mess up. Then again, it is Ferrari. Anyway, with Ferrari, McLaren and Red Bull all in the mix, the races could become very tight and chaotic again. Lewis Hamilton hasn't had any issues yet, but I'm sure that will come too. Russell and Antonelli are so focused on each other that anyone in the mix can get a win, even if Mercedes is still quicker. So I'm starting to get a little bit more positive about this season again. I can't help it. What do you think? Subscribe, and if you're ready for a new VPN deal, use my link. Take care now. Doei doei.